So let's talk a little bit about how lawsuits work. When somebody files a petition, often the respondent, the responding party, will say, well, why can't the court just throw this out? It's full of lies, or the court should be able to see, or the judge should be able to see that all of this is just nonsense. And unfortunately, that's not really how our system works. In order to file a petition, all you need is allegations. Those allegations aren't yet proven true. They're just allegations. They're just assertions. That's all they are. And that's all you need to start a lawsuit. There are ways to attack the pleadings after a petition has been filed, but they're not usually successful, and they often aren't even worth the time and expense of doing them. But there are ways to at least attack the initial pleadings, and that's what we call a demur and a motion to strike. And so what you're doing on a demur is you're going to court and saying, well, even if we take everything that's said in the petition as true, it still isn't enough to grant what the petitioner wants in their claim. And so that's really all a demur is doing, is testing the sufficiency of the allegations, the assertions. So for example, if you have a contract, one of the things that you have to allege in your complaint when you're filing your lawsuit is you have to allege that there was an agreement. And if it's a written contract, you have to allege that you had a written agreement. Well, if you don't allege that, if you say somebody owes me money, but you don't say why they owe you money, that would be an insufficient pleading. Those allegations aren't sufficient to support a breach of contract claim. Same in trust contest lawsuits. So if you're trying to say that somebody unduly influenced your parent, but you don't actually say anything that would suggest undue influence factually in your petition, then in theory, somebody could come in and say this isn't enough, and the court could agree with them and sustain the demur. The problem with demurs is that the court is supposed to give parties many chances to fix their pleadings. So once you file the demur, even if you're successful, the petitioner will have a chance to come back and try again. They're allowed to do an amended petition, and they can do that multiple times until they get it right. Every now and again, there'll be cases where they can't get it right. No matter what they say, they're not going to be able to allege a lawsuit. But that very rarely occurs in trust contest lawsuits. And it's so rare that it's really not even worth talking about. But the one thing you should know if you're the petitioner, if you're the one bringing a trust contest lawsuit, is it's possible that the other side might file something to attack your pleadings. And then you have to deal with that. You have to respond to any motions, you have to respond to any demurs, and then maybe you even amend your pleadings. If you think that the other side's making a viable point, you might want to just agree to make an amendment, file an amended petition, and off you go. Attacking the petition that's filed is part of the phase of litigation that we call pleadings. So you file your petition, yes, but you also have to withstand any attacks on that petition when it's first filed by demur or motion to strike. 99% of the time, you're going to get past a demur or motion to strike. Even if you have to amend your petition, you'll amend it and everything will be fine and you'll be on your way in your lawsuit. But you should at least be aware that there are things like demur and motion to strike out there. You don't have to fully understand them, but just know that you might have to fight through some of these issues before the pleading phase is complete and before you have a final petition on file.
The Big Challenge is presented by Albertson Davidson, LLP. We're ready to handle any big challenge. Albertson Davidson is here to help you fight for your inheritance. Check out aldavlaw.com for hundreds of legal articles and videos to answer all your California trust questions. We'll see you on the next episode of The Big Challenge.